This episode of Unqualified is brought to you by State Farm, who has surprisingly great rates for your auto insurance. In 1999, my mom recorded me in our family room, delivering the lines for what I thought was a horror movie. My mom read the other roles, and I thought she gave a much better performance than I did. There was even a moment when I seriously considered not sending the tape because that would require a trip to the post office and an entire day's salary for postage. Not that I had a paying job. I was surprised when I received a phone call asking if I could audition in person. Then I realized that the casting director must have mixed up my tape with someone else's. I could have pointed out the error, but I'd never been to LA and wanted to go. So my parents gave me airline miles, and I flew to Los Angeles, Burbank actually, where I auditioned every day for a week and slept on 3 different couches. At the week's end, my friend with the least comfortable couch offered to drive me to the airport, and because at the time it was hard to find good Mexican food in Washington State, I wanted one last burrito. My pager began buzzing just as our nachos arrived. There was a payphone in the back of the restaurant, and when I returned the page, I was told that I got the role. It was one of the biggest surprises of my life. I was also surprised to learn that Scary Movie was actually a comedy. This was after my audition. Speaking of nice surprises, State Farm provides coverage that meets your needs at a surprisingly great rate. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
Hello, Anna.
Oh my God. Why are you perched on the chair?
Sorry, I'll sit down.
Yeah. No. You don't have to. You don't have to.
Whatever makes you comfortable.
Oh my God.
Are you comfortable now?
Yes, I'm comfortable, but if you wanted to be perched on the chair, I just hadn't seen you do that before.
It was a weird move. I don't know why I did it.
It felt like a power play.
Momentary. It's gone. Past.
I'm sorry I'm analyzing your every move.
I know. It's okay, though.
So I got to work today, and well, first of all, I've always wanted to be really open with my amazing listeners and just with who I am, because I don't feel like I have a lot to hide. Maybe a couple of things, but not a lot overall. But sweet Chris, my ex, got engaged to Catherine today, and I'm so happy for them. I knew that it was going to happen, and I love her. And I love him, and I'm just so happy that they found each other. And I so subscribe to the idea of like expanding like family and love and with Jack. And I guess when you are in a public relationship, it's not dissimilar to like when Allison Janney here on Mom like wins an Emmy. And I'm so happy for her, and I'm so proud of her, and I'm so thrilled that I get to work with such a brilliant actress. But I know that people like at work, when I come to work, they look at me like, are you cool with this? And it's like, yes, of course I'm cool. And that's almost like the harder part of things, is people sort of looking to me for my reaction.
You're super happy for, I know this because just from knowing you and speaking to you every day, ever since they started dating, you were so happy for them. And
yeah.
And she, I haven't met her, but
no,
she
awesome.
seems lovely. You said she's amazing.
Yeah. And I'm in a
You're in a relationship and you're happy. Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
Jack is happy. Everyone's happy.
It's funny how it didn't occur to me until I walked into work. It felt like, you know, that feeling of like being the new kid at school a little bit. Like, wait, why are you guys, what's that? Wait. Everyone's like kind of surreptitiously taking my temperature. and that's just a funny element to having a public life. But no, Chris texted me this morning, and he was like, I proposed to Catherine last night, and I was like, that's amazing. And I texted him back like, just want to remind you, I'm an ordained minister.
Yes. That's true. Chris, I can attest to that. She married me, Chris, and she did an amazing job. So
thanks. I don't think that Chris will be listening. Maybe, I'll tell him.
Wouldn't that be, oh my God. I don't think that's ever going to happen. But
well, I'm not very good at it.
I think you're very good at it.
Thank you, Sim. I do want to be open with my dear listeners, and I do want to congratulate Chris and Catherine. And so I love you guys, and I know that I'll send you a text saying like, "Hey, by the way, I talked about you guys on my podcast." But I do love you, and congratulations. I'm thrilled. They're both fucking amazing people. I'm so happy, and
two of you. But I'm going to say this right now. This is a compliment to you and to Chris. The way you're handling your public divorce and your co-parenting, the way you're doing it, it should be the gold standard.
Because the truth is, there isn't any bitterness, and I'm just so happy that we're all really happy. And
do you think there'll be a day there where we can get Catherine and Chris on the show?
I would love that.
That'd be amazing, right?
Yes,
I would love that too.
Wedding planning. What's it like? You know, it's my favorite topic. Anyway,
that's great.
Hey, thanks, dear listeners, for letting me like, blech.
Yeah.
But it's truly how I feel, and I think the reason why we're talking about it too, Sim, is because I do feel the need to just have my voice heard on the matter.
Yes,
you know, and anyway, I love you guys, and thank you all for your support.
And now, The Bachelor, Colton Underwood.
Colton Underwood. There might not be a better name.
It's a great name.
In the history of names.
This episode is brought to you in part by Plant Botanical. As everyone slowly comes out of hiding, many of you are asking the same questions. Am I ready for actual human contact? Should I swipe right? Will they look like their picture? Do I look like my picture? Is that the face of an axe murderer? Do I really want to take off these sweats? And for those of you who get that far, what drink should I be casually sipping? I have the answer to that one. While your date sits awkwardly silent, stunned by your good looks, dazzled by your intellect, or wondering how to dispose of your body, the drink in your hand should be delicious, refreshing, crisp, clean, Plant Botanical Vodka Seltzer. Weighing in at only 1 carb, made with real fruit and botanicals traditionally used for stamina, immunity, and detox, Plant Botanical is already thinking about your future encounters. Follow and DM at Plant Loves You and share a story or video of your funniest, wildest, or most awkward date for a chance to win up to $1,000 for your next one. Plant Botanical, your perfect companion while you look for your perfect companion. Available at Target, Pavilions, Vons, Total Wine, or visit plantlovesyou.com to find a store near you. Plant Vodka and Vodka Seltzer. Just the good shit. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Intuit, powering products like TurboTax, QuickBooks, Mint, and Credit Karma. Intuit works for what you work for, and it was only recently that I found out they were working for me. I've been using QuickBooks for years and more recently began using Mint, which is an easy way to create monthly budgets. It was a bit surprising to realize how much I could save by learning how to make coffee. With Intuit, artificial intelligence can predict your future cash flow, recognize a misplaced digit in an account or routing number, and even connect users with live experts who can assist with navigating life changes or help with unique tax situations. Everything is automatically organized as you track your personal or business expenses by scanning receipts, invoices, and other financial documents, while smart budgeting tools let you know before you overspend. Innovative features like these make managing your finances simple, but as you probably already knew, innovation is at the core of everything Intuit does. Discover how Intuit's products can help you see what's possible at Intuit.com. That's INTUIT.com.
I really want to be a contestant.
Wait, how do we get on The Bachelor? Can we figure out like a
100%?
Can we figure out like a podcast date?
Yeah. Well, here's how do you a bachelorette in a relationship? Is it might be, but I do want. I'm fascinated by the dialogue of like when you have cameras all around you, and I'm sure you've probably had this same conversation like all day today. But how does one sell oneself? And you don't have to because you're already like the king. I don't know. Is there like, I need to work on maybe my eye batting?
No,
Or like,
but see, like even like from the very beginning, it's just like who you are. Like, just if you're nervous, own that you're nervous. It's just being very real.
I'm nervous right now. Colton Underwood.
Here we go. No, I think like the major thing, and the one thing that I tried to do this whole season was like just try to make people as comfortable as possible.
How did you do that?
Like casually kicking your feet up. I know. So I got critiqued a lot because like obviously it doesn't look good on camera if you're like slouching. They'd be like, I'm sorry, but we just want to get your best angle. So like you'd always have to sit proper.
I would be the worst at that.
I was so bad. But I mean, I think
I don't know if you have a bad angle, by the way, Colton. Sorry, go on.
I appreciate it. But I think just making sure like, hey, I've been in your position before. Like before we even start having a conversation, be like, hey, I've been in your position
really
before.
Nice.
And it took me a while to realize that because I came off Bachelor in Paradise and went straight into Bachelor. So I felt like, I had it under control. I was used to like the cameras.
Right.
I knew all the camera operators by name. I knew the audio mixers by name. So like I felt like I just had I had it down.
Yeah.
But then I also just made the assumption like, oh, these girls got it. But they really it's an intimidating thing.
Oh, completely. And you're getting like mic'd up and you have this thing attached to your bra strap and you're just like, I didn't wear the right dress and like for this mic or something.
They have it rough. Like ladies wearing their heels, I don't know how they do it because I'm wearing like flat dress shoes that are sort of comfortable and I'm still like my feet are hurting.
Those are really nice shoes.
Thank you. I'm a shoe guy.
Yeah, I heard. And I'm so tempted to say that you have very handsomely large feet.
I have big feet. What do they say? What's the saying? Oh.
Yeah. Listen, we're not going to get into that. Well, we could. We could. So, Colton, thank you so much for being here. Truly, it's so kind that you're here in my annoying dressing room, and I feel like I stink, which I do. We were rehearsing for the show today, and then we come and do podcasts up in my cramped.
I love it.
Tired dressing room.
This is it's cozy though. You have food, you have wine. You have the setup.
Well, I have to get my guests relaxed.
Here we go. I'm relaxed. Let's go.
Okay, so you're done with everything, and there's no contact. I know. I'll just get this minutia out of the way because I'm sure you've been talking about it forever. But when can there be contact, like with the chosen?
Do we know that he picked someone? Do we know that for a fact? We don't even know that, right?
Oh, we don't know that. Oh, shit. Oh, man.
I mean, see, you're just going to have to see how everything plays out. Because here's also the reason why I want that to be the case is because I came into this like, I got this thing figured out. I know how this works. I had an idea how the format of the show goes. And there was a lot of ups and downs and it wasn't pretty. And I think that was one thing that I realized, love isn't always like this beautiful thing. Like it's beautiful at times, but there's ups and downs and I want people to experience it with me. And it's like the best kept secret.
Did you feel like, maybe it's an obvious question, but that certain people, you thought you knew one side of them and then maybe something else is...
Yeah, there's ups. It's like any other relationship. There's ups and downs. You find something out about somebody. You're like, oh my gosh, that's so attractive. That's awesome. That's unbelievable. And then 2 days later, you see how they handle a certain situation or how they react to something. And that tells you everything that you need to know about them. So then it's just like the ebbs and flows of a relationship.
Are you able to witness that? Because
sometimes.
I feel like you're kind of protected.
You're protected in a way. So like the producers don't tell me anything about any of the women. It's up to me to ask those questions, and it's up to me to observe and really try to analyze and figure out who they are, what type of person, are they, like just who's best for me at the end of this.
And when you're in your bachelor house, do you get lonely? Like, how does that work?
No,
do they
believe it or not, we keep a very busy schedule. So we're always like either on a date, in an interview, filming.
Right.
When I wasn't sleeping, I had a treadmill in my room, so I was working out or running. Are
you allowed to watch things or listen to podcasts?
I watched some TV. I had a TV in my room, but I barely had any time to watch it. And then I had an iPod. They gave me an iPod without like Wi-Fi connection. So I could listen to music.
You have no idea what's going on what was going on in the world.
The only way that I knew about it was if something like major happened, and it was like breaking news. But other than that, I get downloaded when the show's over. They're like, "Hey, by the way, this happened, this happened, this happened," because you miss everything like pop culture, sports. Like it was during NFL season, so I missed all of the NFL games for the most part. And we were traveling. We were in Asia for most of it, so like Chargers are playing at like 3 a.m. or
Okay, so wait, speaking about football for just a second, and then
Yeah.
we'll get on to like the relationship-y stuff. But did your parents, how did you get into football? And was that did your parents like have your full like backing with that? And when you joined the NFL, I was asking Terry Crews about this a few years ago. What must it feel like to slam against another person's body with everything that you have?
Sometimes it feels really good. Like when you just want to let the anger out and let it go. But my parents were both athletes growing up. So it was one of those things at a young age. Well, hey, if you're playing sports and keeping yourself busy, they knew the life lessons that came out of it. Then it became in high school, hey, if you're playing sports, you don't have to get a job. So you always are playing for different reasons. And then I was blessed enough to get a scholarship and play on a full ride at Illinois State. And then from there, I really realized like playing in the NFL was achievable. And then once I got to the NFL, I was on practice squads and bounced around, and I took pride in making my teammates better. I knew my role, and I like wanted to do the best that I could.
Forgive me? I don't know what your role was.
Oh,
I bet
so
Sim does.
I was on the team, but I was on the practice squad, which means that I just practiced. So honestly, it's
Rudy. Do you remember Rudy?
Yeah,
honestly, it's sort
He
of
was
like
Rudy.
the best. Oh yeah, I meant to tell you.
What?
Because you said you talked to Terry Crews. Terry Crews is on my season.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't know that. We love
Next
Terry.
episode.
We love him.
Yeah,
He's the
him and
best.
his
He's the
wife are
best.
both there.
His podcast episode was one of my all-time favorites. You should go back and listen to this.
He
It's
talks
amazing.
about the cult of masculinity within football, and he also talks about something very interesting, which is about how player loyalty is sort of enforced and sort of mentally cultivated when they get traded. Players just get traded, and then there's sort of this expectation of being incredibly loyal towards one's home team, which is not their home team, and then eventually
It's the most ridiculous business I've ever been involved in, and it's most cutthroat and most brutal, and just sort of ass backwards. But I mean,
they don't like if you get
You're a
injured,
piece of meat.
you're not going to get paid.
You're a piece of meat.
Yeah, you're a piece. They don't. They will turn you over.
they'll use and abuse you. That's how
Exactly.
it is. And yeah, there is stigmas, and there's certain things like if you don't fit into this mold of like this athlete persona, you're considered a distraction to the team. And then do you really want to be a distraction, or do you want to be different? And like that was like the hardest thing for me too. Is like I always had to like put on this front and this lie just to fit in, just because I didn't want to be that distraction.
wait, what do you mean?
So a good example of this isn't even me. It's Tim Tebow. I mean, you go in there and everybody, he's considered a distraction to a team because he's so faith-based. And then they talk about his virginity, that it was taking away from the locker room and from asking football questions. And then the team doesn't like that.
So it's like whatever media latches on
Yeah,
to a narrative,
correct.
and
And then if you don't fit that narrative, then you're going to be, you get forced out.
right. Oh, interesting and fucked up.
Yes, majorly.
Yeah.
It's brutal, and it's mentally, like that's probably what Terry was talking. It's mentally exhausting for a guy like me, because I've never been the most athletic, but I've always trained very hard, and I've worked really hard at everything that I've had or earned in my life. But when you're doing that, and then you're watching,
You're viewed as expendable, or simply, or even better than expendable, I suppose, but not much, as a commodity. Which, as an actor,
it's a cutthroat business.
Yeah, you can sort of relate to the idea that, like, okay, well, there's a lot of talented people out there. So how do you gauge your own value in the system that's sort of like feels like it's dictating that.
Yeah.
So how do you find like your own, I don't know, sense of worth, I suppose?
Well, and that's the thing is, like, for the longest time, I let football define me.
Oh, interesting.
Like
Yeah.
I always like let that be my thing, and it was really hard because it was in a way it was like built in. Like every family Christmas, all my family would be like,
Right.
so how's your chances next year? Like what team are you on?
And
so it's
that's
like
so much.
they never ask like, hey, how are you doing?
Right.
Like I remember that as a kid. I was like, do they like know like I have a life outside of football? Do they know
Right.
how my schoolwork's going? Do they know how this is going? And that's not a fault to my family because they're very supportive. And I think for me too, like they know I enjoyed football. I liked playing it. I had a love for the game, but it becomes a point where, all right, well, you guys going to ask me how my personal life's or how I'm mentally doing or
Right.
how I feel
I completely understand. I have the most incredibly supportive family, and I've been acting for a long time. But when I would go home,
that's all they want
for
to talk about.
Holidays. And it wasn't so much them, but it was more people outside, the neighbors and my like old family friends. And it was like, why are you going Dancing with the Stars? Or like, well, you should have been that role. And it's like, well, yeah, I tried. Listen.
Right.
No, you're not telling me anything new. But yeah, the identity that feels after a while so separate from people who love and care about me from a distance, they just can't relate to the experience of the constant pressure and rejection and acceptance. And it's like,
it's overwhelming. It almost becomes overwhelming too, because you're like, oh man, you almost feel like the additional pressure now, like to make, and it doesn't even make sense. Then I think I realized that this last year is I put so much pressure on myself of like trying to live up to a certain standard, where now it's like, I'm the happiest I've ever been in my life because I just own who I am and I'm comfortable in my skin now.
That's amazing. And I think that also comes maybe with age too. I mean, not that
but it does, like experience, like this last year, as far as my personal experience has gone, has been at least 10 years worth of experience just crammed into a year.
That's amazing. I don't know if you feel like telling us a little bit more about that. Is it because like the ownership of honesty?
Yeah. And I think like I'll go to bat for this franchise and this show. Everybody, like, I am very aware that we're filming a TV show, but the reality of it is when you don't have your phone, when you don't have access to TV, and you are sitting across from somebody and really getting to know them, you're really getting to know a lot about yourself too, because they're asking tough questions, questions that I've never been asked in my life. And you're talking about things sometimes for the first time. Obviously there's a camera on you, but you don't realize it in the moment. And then when you actually say them out loud, you're like, oh man, that's why I felt the way I felt like that. And I just had so many, I call them aha moments, where after I said it, I'm like, oh, that's why I am the way I am.
This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Best Fiends. We all know there really is only one Match 3 style game worth playing. It's the one with an actual storyline, cool collectible characters, and non-stop action-packed adventure. It's the one with literally thousands of challenging puzzles to solve. And yes, I'm using the word literally correctly. Of course, I'm talking about Best Fiends. You meet your best fiends early in their careers. They don't have much experience, but they have heart. I recognized a little piece of myself in each of them. And so I began to assemble the perfect team. I watched them grow as we solved puzzle after puzzle, working hard and playing hard. Today, my best fiends are ready to go anytime and anywhere. I'm really proud of what they have become. With new challenges and levels added all the time, there's never a boring moment. So download Best Fiends free today on the App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R, Best Fiends. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by The Pill Club. Do you need to renew your birth control prescription? Want to switch your birth control? Maybe try it for the first time. Whether you know the brand you want or you're looking for help finding the best option, the Pill Club medical team has your back. With the Pill Club, you'll never have to make a trip to the doctor or wait in line at the pharmacy. The Pill Club is a birth control subscription prescribed by a medical professional and delivered straight to your door for free in discreet packaging. The Pill Club carries over 120 FDA-approved brands. Most brands of birth control are free with insurance or Medicaid. Otherwise, prices start as low as $7 per month without insurance. Right now, when you go to thepillclub.com/unqualified, the Pill Club is offering a $10 donation to bedsider.org for every unqualified listener who becomes a patient. Your donation will help low-income individuals get access to birth control through bedsider.org. That's thepillclub.com/unqualified to get your first birth control care package. That's thepillclub.com/unqualified to get your first birth control care package and donate to help more women in need of affordable birth control. Remember, thepillclub.com/unqualified. You must use the link to make a donation.
She was so cute.
Because the ladies on the show have a limited time with you. Do you think that people wanted to ask, like, just kind of get to the point of things?
Yeah. You don't waste any time. And I appreciate that, because that's one thing in my life. I don't like to waste time.
Right.
And I, growing up, never dated just to date. I date with a purpose. I date for marriage.
Yeah.
And I'm not in a position where I want to waste my time, where I want to waste your time. So we have to figure this out. And the only way to figure it out is to get to know each other and to ask the tough questions.
Have you been in long-term relationships?
I had one prior to the show. And I think that was the reason why I went on it, is because I never really spent time focusing on my personal life. I always was professional and career
You were driven. Yeah. I always want to be honest with my listeners and open. And that's one of the reasons that I wanted to do this podcast. The other one was because I wanted to talk to strangers without sort of the cloak of celebrity a little bit.
Yeah.
And we'll get into that later. But my first husband, I always sound like, I'm really sophisticated when I talk about that. I think that it was checking something off of the list a little bit for me. It was like, okay, because I was so career driven that it was like, okay, like I've got the relationship part down.
Yeah.
I've got that part secure. That's on lock, because I love being in a relationship. I like having intimacy and security in an insecure, profession.
Yeah.
And I do think that was, maybe some missteps in my life. It has been sort of that need to lock that part down, to check that thing off the list.
Mm-hmm. I think I realized that, though, too, is because my mom had me when she was 24. My parents separated. And I think for me, it's like I had this checklist off of the standards of my parents. It's like, okay, well, I remember sitting there, I was like, I'm 24. My mom had me. She was married. She had her life together. And like, I viewed that as success, because that's all I knew is like the checklist thing.
Right.
Where now it's like, I just want to enjoy my life. I want to be in the moment. I want to be present. Whatever happens, happens.
Right.
But I tried not to plan. I tried not to strategize. But I feel like that's what successful people do, is like they have goals in mind. But you can't do that. It's not realistic to do that in your personal life. You can't set benchmarks for a personal goal, like something of that magnitude.
Right. No, you're 100% right. But I think there is a societal pressure, maybe especially for women, I don't know, but to like, okay, I got that part done. I got that part done. Got that part done. Have a kid. And because acting, there's so much instability.
Yeah.
As I'm sure it is with, being in the NFL, the athlete world, that it's like you cling on to something that feels stable, even though it might be preliminary, I suppose.
Or you avoid it in total, like I did, because I didn't have stability. I mean, it's a truth, though, because I would be in San Diego, and in the position that I was in on practice squad, it's week to week. Like I didn't know when I was going to get my next contract signed, or if I was going to be picked up. So a good example of that is I signed with the Chargers in 2014, played the preseason with them. So I was there for OTAs and preseason for 6 weeks, got cut, went to Philadelphia, played with the Eagles for 2 weeks, got cut, went straight back to San Diego. Can you imagine if I had a family? I get excited. I'm like, hey, I got an opportunity in Philadelphia. We're going to take there and we're going to start planning our life around there. And it's like, oh, by the way, you get fired. Like, because people, when they view it, they talk about NFL players like, they're like, oh, he got cut, he's done. And it's like, no, I got fired and I'm now unemployed and I've worked my whole entire life for this. And you just say, oh, he got cut, he's a trash player. And then you get picked back up and it's like, it's just big. It's actually much bigger than what people think too. But it's just, the stability wasn't there. So why would I, in my mind, it's like, why would I put somebody else through that too? And
then also you have your family, like you were saying earlier, like your family celebrating, and you feel the pressure of that.
Because then I feel like I'm letting them down.
Exactly. And what I had to realize, I think because, like through the course of my career, which has had ups and downs or whatever, but that I realized that their celebration is not equivalent to the disappointment, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like they have my back. And it's not like, and I feel like, oh, I'm going to let them down, that I didn't get that job, or but that's not the case. They're just like ready to celebrate when I do get the next job.
I found that out too. And because I have a very supportive family. It's based off of your happiness. So they just want to see me happy.
Right.
And I realized like the times that they've seen me the happiest was when I was playing football. So their correlation was, okay, football makes him happy. his success in football is what we want to see because we want to see him happy.
Sure.
And I think it was up to me to show them like there's other aspects of my life that make me happy.
Right, completely. And of course, like they brag to the neighbors or whatever that like, but
Any mom and dad should.
Right. But at the same time, it's like we put as children more weight on that than they do almost, like it's like, yeah. So they tell the neighbors like, oh yeah, she didn't get that job or whatever. Like, but it's not like it's affecting them as much as we perceive it.
No, because we're so close to it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
We're almost blind to it because we're so close to it and we hear about it. But I see, it's the correlations. In my opinion, the NFL is an entertainment industry. It really is.
I want to say something for listeners listening right now who aren't familiar with the NFL. To get onto a practice squad of any team is almost impossible. To get onto a practice squad and be cut and then picked up again and then get cut and it picked up again is like winning the lottery. To get into the
100%.
NFL and play even one game is like winning the lottery. To sustain a career, running backs now, oh my God, like they're 1 year and they're done because there's someone else that's coming up and then that's why they're not signing for big contracts. It is such a cutthroat industry. The fact that you did what you did is amazing. So I don't want you to sell yourself short in the sense that you're a disappointment. What you did was insane.
Right. But wait, Colton, this is where I need you to forgive me. What position?
I played linebacker for 2 seasons and then I finished my career at tight end. So defense for the first 2 years and then offense. So I went from tackling people to catching the ball.
What did you prefer?
I like hitting people. I don't like getting hit.
Okay, so wait. So did you like, because there's a fucking ton of pressure, I would imagine, to catching the fucking ball.
Well, to change positions at that skill level, I'm trying to compare it to like for you, it's like changing your acting style. Like it's almost like it's a completely new playbook. It's a completely new scheme, completely new stance. Like from the ground, you were gutting everything that you know and you learned over the last, for me, it was 16 years. And then you're changing it.
And then being on the offense, if this is me being completely idiotic, so you're servicing the quarterback.
Correct.
Completely. So if you don't catch like a ill-timed throw, that's like being, I don't know, Horatio to Hamlet or something. I don't even know.
I love where we're going with this.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's like the.
But it all comes down to, and it's one of those things that all comes down to time, like precision, time, working off of each other. You know how it is. Like I'm sure there's other actors that you really you perform way better around because you guys play off of each other so much better. Well, that's how it is.
So and on the show, I know it's a stretch here maybe, but on the show that I do, Mom, I oftentimes have what I call the T-ball stand lines, where I'm like, seriously, Mom, like blah, 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 blah. Not a funny line, but it sets people up for a joke. And I enjoyed, because I love my show and I love my team, but I understand my position. And it is like, this format actually, like multicam, is sort of the closest I could imagine to being on a sports team, but because you're
a part of a team, you're a part of a bigger picture.
Exactly.
Because you're setting it up for somebody else to have success.
Exactly.
Well, if you're a blocking tight end, you would create a nice block to get
for the running
back to get a first down, and so that you're setting someone up.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it works, right?
Yeah, 100%.
But I want to do the victory dance.
You could do the victory. Just run next to your running back and do the victory dance for them.
Okay, so wait, Colton.
Yes.
I know that you have to leave because you probably have something else to do.
He has Kimmel.
Oh shit. Okay. Wait.
Wait. We have time though, right?
We're good.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Okay. Have you ever been on a dating app? Probably not.
No.
Okay. Sim has a lot, but let's imagine, if you don't mind, Colton, that The Bachelor never happened.
Okay.
And you're single.
Yep.
And you join a dating app and you're on a series of first dates.
Okay.
These are deal breakers. You can say, yes or no.
Yeah.
Whenever she has to pee, she says, I have to make my bladder gladder.
Playful, cute, and funny. So yes, that's not a deal breaker for me.
Okay, but what if she says it like this? Oh, I have to make my bladder gladder.
Okay, not cute, funny, and sweet. So it all depends on the delivery. And did she say it multiple times over dinner?
Oh,
Maybe
I
like
have to
once
make my
is
bladder
enough.
gladder. Do you get it?
I get it. It would all depend on the delivery.
Do you know I love baby horses?
Really?
Colts.
Ooh.
Yeah, we really love them. Colts, and I have to go make my bladder gladder. I'm sorry, you're out on this date with this person.
Oh,
Okay.
boy. Here
Wait,
we
this
go.
is a different person though.
Okay.
Okay. She says, I know that the networks put in sound effects when the helmets crack on TV.
I would say you're a liar.
No. But my dad, like, he actually is a Foley artist. And he told me that, like, whenever, like, the helmets and, like, your shoulder shields, whatever you call it, like,
Really?
crack against each other, like, they add in additional, like, watermelons, like, cracking or whatever.
Now you're just full of shit. Some guys are, like, mic'd up. I think that would probably be.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the best audio is when
Oh
players
my
are
God.
mic'd up.
This is juicy.
NFL films have been
didn't
doing it
know
for
this.
years
You
and
need
years.
to Google some because there's some
shit.
really good like funny lines that people because just think about it, like when you mess up some of the stuff that I would say, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so glad I'm not mic'd up right now. Because like some of the stuff I'm saying running down the field when I'm mad, it's just like
Where the fuck do they put their mic packs? They get hot, those things. I mean, you probably for ladies.
it's an antenna.
I think it's a very
The Bachelor,
small
no?
Very
microphone.
small
No. Those things are hot.
oh, we wear a waistband around ours.
But what do the ladies do? Because I
They
know that
strap it to their bra
Yeah.
or like the back
or
of
like their
shoulder
thigh,
blades.
right? Like
or-
their inner
Or they
thigh.
slip like when I wear a suit, they slip into my back pocket. So I don't have
That
to wear a
means you're.
waistband.
Wait. Oh, so you don't have to wear. I thought that maybe the ladies' mic was in your. It's like,
Dang,
and
we're getting
they're,
really
they're,
into
they're
it.
very close.
Go ahead
to you.
and go ahead and slip your mic
whole
back in my
date.
back pocket.
Okay.
I'm gonna use that. That's a good pickup.
That's a really good pickup line.
She tells you she has never watched The Bachelor, but then when you go back to her place, you find an entire season on her DVR.
I've actually dealt I've had people do that to me before. They're like, I don't watch a show, so you're gonna have to bear with me. But do you remember in season 1 when you're on the show in episode 2 when you said this at this moment? I'm like, wait, you said you don't watch the show, but yet you're asking me about something I said on the show.
Oh my God.
I've caught people red-handed. It gets awkward.
We have to do this later. Can we do a little improv?
Let's do it.
All right. So you're at a sports bar
Yeah.
in Hollywood. Maybe you're hanging with a couple of buddies,
Yeah.
whatever. And Sam, what do you think your bartender name should be?
Let's call Dumb Dan.
Dan. All right. I'm gonna come sidle up next to you, but don't worry about it
We'll get
because
close.
your friends are over there. Oh my God! Yay! Oh my God! Can you they won't even turn it up loud enough?
Do you need the volume turned up?
Yes, please.
Do you
What was
need
your
a
name
drink as well?
again?
I'm Dan.
Yes. I want to.
Hey Dan, my man, can you turn the volume up
Absolutely, of course.
for this lady?
Hey,
Thank you.
what's up?
Hey, how are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
Good. My name's Colton. Nice to meet you.
Hey, it's nice to meet you too.
What's your name?
Autumn.
Autumn.
Yeah.
Nice. What do you do?
Oh, well, I do a lot of things actually. I'm a sports analyst and I'm an actress and I mean, not whatever. That's my side gig. That's how I earn money.
Yeah.
But my passion is sort of massage therapy.
Oh,
You look familiar to me. I don't know why. You've got I don't know.
Really?
That's something weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, who are you rooting for? Are you rooting for the Lakers or?
yeah, the Colts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's the Lakers versus the Colts.
Yeah.
This is going to be a high-scoring game.
Oh my God. They always are, aren't they?
Yeah. When you break down Lakers
Lakes
versus Colts as a
versus
sports.
baby horses. Yeah.
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 Who's your favorite player for the Lakers?
Oh God, I would have to say Kobe.
Yeah, nice. He's having a phenomenal year.
Oh yeah. Oh my
really
God.
killing
Yeah. Well, and I know that we're all these things, but whatever. It's
Yeah.
I'm cool.
Yeah, Magic Johnson, I mean, they really could get more out of him too.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
And I know that he started that movie theater franchise.
Yeah.
But-
that's just a passion of his.
I just feel that's so cool. When an athlete expands,
Yeah. What other do you watch any other TV shows?
Yeah. I am. I know it's so stupid, but I really like The Real Housewives.
Which one?
I like
There's
Game of
12.
Thrones.
There's 12 cities now.
I like House of Cards.
Nice.
And I don't know, I watch a lot of news. I like to keep up on, world events,
Cool.
current things,
What's
Do you?
what's your most current thing?
I would say it would be like involving borders and
Fences.
yeah, and I don't know, I just I want to combine compassion with creativity.
Yeah.
That's sort of I don't want to go
It's like a passion.
we just met. I don't want to get all but anyway, yeah.
Nice.
Yes, but you weirdly look familiar to me.
Yeah. I did a show, I think it was last year or something.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. Were you on Below Deck?
No, I didn't get casted for that one. I ended up doing ABC, The Bachelorette. I was one of the guys.
I don't know it.
Yeah.
That's weird, huh?
It was
was on
Becca's season.
ABC?
ABC, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It was fun. It was different.
What's it about?
It's like a dating series. So 30 guys date this one girl, and I was just one of many guys.
Oh my God, that must be hard.
It had its challenge. Yeah, it had its challenges.
Yeah? Like what?
I mean, dating a woman who's dating other men.
I feel like one of the challenges must be I'm not on a hit show or something.
Well, I mean, I don't want to, toot the horn, but it's been around for a lot of years now. So it's sort of popular.
Oh, I'm not that old.
Well, there's Google and YouTube. So you could watch old seasons. You don't watch the show?
Not really.
No.
I mean, I don't I think it's out there in the zeitgeist or something. I don't know. I feel my roommate watches something called something The Bachelor or something. I don't know.
Oh, nice.
But
well, you should watch it with her next time or ask her about it. That's fun.
yeah, why?
I mean, I think you could learn a lot.
Because you're into me.
Yeah. I'm trying not to break character right now. But yeah, there's just so much you could learn about me.
Okay. Can I confess something?
Yeah.
I actually knew who you were.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. That's why I'm sitting right here.
Oh, man.
I know, but here's the thing is that I just wanted to be cool because I didn't want everyone to freak out.
Oh,
because you probably
I
get
appreciate
freak
that.
outs all the time.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, I'm also I'm kind of known for my generosity.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm a Gemini. That means I'm have dual personalities, you know.
Oh, I'm an
I'm
Aquarius.
a twin. Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Oh, that means you're peaceful. You're water sign. That's
Just
cool.
chill.
That means you're super amazing in a relationship because you never want to stir the pot. 'Cause, you flow your own way or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you knew about me then this whole time?
No, not the whole time. It was the Colts time. All right.
See, I've learned to just call people out on it now. It's way easier just to be I would respect it more if somebody was hey, by the way, I watched you on this. I like how you handled this, or I don't like how you handle. Just go direct with it. And I'm gonna go direct with it too. Be oh, so you've not
Yeah.
so this is.
But here's
weird
the thing:
now.
is that I've been around a lot of famous people, and I never want to make anyone feel uncomfortable. You know.
I was on The Bachelor. I'm hardly famous.
Oh my God, you're so famous, and I just don't want. I don't want to be oh, I'm in this for the wrong reasons. I'm
What are wrong reasons? Can I ask you your definition when you hear oh, they're
Wait,
doing
am
it
I
for the
in
wrong...
character or not?
No, out of character. Can
Okay,
I
okay, yes,
I
yes.
genuinely
By
have
the
a
way,
question for
Colton,
this.
you were really good.
Oh, thank you.
You were really good.
Good.
That was good. I didn't even know where to go. You were so good. Damn. It's not often that
I felt like he was actually charming you. This is
totally.
you were. Now I
Okay,
understand why he's the
really
Bachelor.
did. I know.
There's
I
a reason.
truly-
ABC. I mean, they're smart people. There's a reason they picked him.
shit.
He's a charming guy. He charmed you. I've never seen that happen like
I
that.
know.
Yeah.
Colton, you owned that shit.
Oh, thank you. I told you, anytime I get into something, I want to try my best and try my hardest. Anything I touch, I want it to be great. They know that too. I was I know we're
Even
filming a
with-
TV show, but I
what
know I
was
want to
Mike-
come out of this happy.
Even with Autumn?
Even with Autumn. Yeah, I want to give you a chance.
That's sweet. I don't know if you want to.
I mean,
give
I
Autumn-
saw the first episode. Who'd you give a chance to? You gave a chance to Catherine. I mean,
4 times.
I'm convinced.
You wanna know why?
Yes, why?
Because I like direct people, and she let it know from the very beginning, she was there for me. and she wanted to get to know me. I know, and I had an idea.
Despite her jumping in, like rudely interrupting
Colton,
a few people, like
yeah.
you totally were, you gave her the second chance, even though she interrupted. Like she was kind of mean to the other people that you were talking to.
I didn't, not in front of me though.
Okay.
So you know what I mean? I don't get to see that.
But Colton,
all right,
Colton, is that what it takes? I mean, they're all there for you.
Correct. And the dynamic of every relationship is different. I think that's something you're going to watch unfold this season, which was hard for me to balance. Was I would have a relationship with somebody in which it was playful, fun, and then I'd have a serious romantic, and then I'd have one like that was sort of the friendly banter going back and forth. So there's so many dynamic, there's so many different relationships.
Right.
I mean, when you date Peter and then you go and date Joe, you have differences, and then you like something more than and then Brian also has this. I'm just making up names. I'm not saying you're out like.
Oh, I love Peter, Joe, and Brian.
Shout out to Peter, Joe, and Brian, everybody.
But you, like, I've never really dated. I've been in like 4 long-term relationships.
So you're like me. When you date, you're dating for a purpose.
Yeah.
100%.
And so I wouldn't know how to navigate those waters.
See, that's everybody's like, well, why did you handle it a certain way? I'm like, okay, you tell me how you'd handle dating 30 women. Like, how do you get that experience before going on being the bachelor? You don't.
Were you able to tell, like, when somebody was kind of being, I don't know, phony?
No, I mean, no.
Do men succumb to like bicep petting and like in compliments?
I like physical touch. It's part of like a good, healthy relationship. Yeah. I like physical touch in a relationship.
Because I'm with you, but I just don't know if there's like a one track, and not necessarily like to get into bed, although I think that is probably an ultimate goal. But I do wonder if some women are much better seducers than I am.
Going through this was really cool because I got to see what I want and what I need out of a relationship, which is 2 completely different things. There would be different parts of relationships where I'd be like, I really like this, or I really need that.
That's amazing that you have that kind of self-reflection about this experience.
This is my 3rd show. It took me 3 shows to realize that.
Okay, so wait, what did you want, and then what did you need? And you don't have to get specific.
Yeah, no.
Of course, but
so like going in, that was one of the questions before I even started filming The Bachelor. It's like, well, what do you like look for? And I said always spontaneous, fun, adventurous. I need somebody to challenge me. I need to be pushed. And I think realizing it in a way is like, this is how exactly I need to be challenged in a relationship. And sometimes I need to be called out. And I appreciate somebody who's willing to call me out and shoot it to me straight, because it might not be what I want to hear at the time, but it's what I need. And it's what I like.
Yeah.
I need to be like, okay, buckle in, call me out for for the BS. And let's get through it.
Yeah. Is that because, I wonder too, if like being in like the highly competitive world, like football, like you're used to a coach, like
I take criticism well. Here is the challenge on doing this as The Bachelor is I took criticism well when they're like, oh, you missed a tackle. Here's how you're going to improve. And the next game I'd go improve, right? I would have a chance to get better. Now I'm putting my personal life out there and they're they're criticizing my personal life. So now it's not a quick fix. Like that's just me and that's in my DNA. Like that's who I am as a person. So it's hard for me to sit there. You take it differently when somebody's it's like you take it personal. You have no other way to, because it is your personal life.
Right.
It's sometimes it's hard because I think, and you could probably relate to this too. It's at all the times when people are like, well, how do you take the negativity? And I think the easiest answer for me would be like, in the most fake answer, oh, I don't see it. I don't pay attention to it. I see that. I see it. Sometimes it gets the best of me. Sometimes I brush it off. It depends what type of mood I'm in. I mean, I'm a human being.
Right.
Like we read the comments. I read things I probably shouldn't spend time reading and care about it too much.
No, don't do that. Don't do it.
I know. Everybody tells me that.
I know, but I understand. It's like I understand being in like the social world or whatever, that it's like you want.
What's your best way to go about that? Do you ignore it completely?
Sweet Michael Sherman, who's right there. He reads the comments for me.
Oh, nice.
And he gets back to me when he thinks I should adjust something. but no, I mean, because it's true that, like, you know.
So you lean on people. You have a support system.
Yeah, but it's like you could have like 20 really nice comments about something, and then that one negative thing is like kind of just eats away at you like a little acid in your stomach or something.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating that you let something affect you, and then you sort of spiral into that idea.
But can you imagine that? Like, I'm so glad my childhood didn't consist of that.
Yes.
Because
Me
I can't imagine being somebody because I went through my time in high school where I had self-esteem issues and I had my insecurities. I couldn't imagine having to go through that in high school, where now with social media and Instagram and Twitter, it's just so negative and so toxic. I couldn't imagine what it's doing to some of like the children.
I know.
That's just me.
I love it that you just said someone like the children.
Like the youngins.
Colton Underwood. Someone like the children.
The children of this generation.
It's incredible to be sort of where we are in like a privileged idea that people care to listen to this podcast, and you're right, to a platform, and that combined with criticism, because the whole idea with this podcast was to have a degree of vulnerability and to let people know that everybody sort of experiences a degree of the same problem.
Yeah.
Not all the same, but a degree.
Right.
Whether that's rejection, it's usually rejection. Why won't they like me? Or why didn't this turn out the way I wanted? Or why am I not, like, whatever, closer with my parents? Whatever. There's a gazillion of them.
Right.
And I think that we lose touch of that because there's this, you know, I hate to use the term bubble, but like we can be insulated in this bubble
100%.
Where it's it almost makes you feel more sensitive.
Yeah, and I think for me too, like the purpose, because you're like, oh, don't read them, but the purpose for me reading them, I think, as an ex-athlete, is I'm looking on how to get better. So, and it's not that I'm going to change who I am for somebody, but it's how can I relay my message in a clearer way? Like, why are they misunderstanding who I am? And then
that's such a brilliant point.
There's some times where I'm like, okay, there's nothing I can do or say that's going to make this person like me. It's just, it is what it is. But there's also some times where I also realize what was just shown on TV or shown in an interview, they could take a different way. And it's, for me, at least in the position that I'm in, it's like, how can I use my platform to clarify that message? Or how can I really drive that home where I don't change who I am as a person, but I change the message that I'm delivering, if that makes sense.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. I would never 100%. Change who I am just to please one person out of my comment section who is trying to tear me down. Thank you. Thanks, Autumn.
Yeah, I know. We have to get to the calls.
Yes.
Just because I want to make sure he gets to Kimmel on time.
Yes.
I mean, I don't, if he doesn't get to Kimmel on time, whatever. You won't have a guest
for you to give to Kimmel.
Okay, I got it.
Oh, but I also have a gift for you. But
I like giving gifts. You know, I love giving gifts. It's my thing. Gifts. It's my love language.
That's your gift giving. Mm-hmm. I can tell that.
Oh, wait, do we have a gift right now?
Quality time.
No, I just want. Yeah.
All right. Wait, is it a gift for Kimmel?
Yes. Will you give Colton? Will you please give Jimmy Kimmel a gift from me?
Yes.
Okay. Should we show it to you? Okay. Yeah. Will you please?
Okay, Colton, describe what you're holding right now, please.
Right now. Oh, what is that? Oh, it's spermies.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm holding a little penis.
He's looking at your You're looking at your publicist right now for approval.
It's a stress penis.
Because you know why? Because I represent Walt Disney right now, and Mickey Mouse signs.
No, but Anna handed it to you. This is you have no control over this.
I have no control, but she just put it in my hands. But she just put a penis in my hands.
Well, it's fine. It's fine. But we'll just tuck it in here, and then you can give it to him privately.
It's like
backstage.
a silicone. It's like a. How would you describe the consistency?
It's filled with
stress
some
reliever.
liquid.
A stress reliever.
It's a stress reliever ball, but it's a penis. So
Gotcha.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, wait, you're playing with the balls right now.
Yeah, it's got.
Just,
what does it have?
Just tell Kimmel that.
Oh, you know what's inside the balls?
It's sperm.
It's sperm inside the balls.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm really
should we get the calls?
experienced now.